Okay, what's going on, people? This is Jay Jacobs here. So, just starting out, when I think about as I reflect on some of the things I've learned about just different forms of media, one of the first things that sticks out that kind of like, I'm not sure if I would say it surprised me, that caught my interest was kind of like the different aspects of the movie industry or the movie as a medium. One thing I wasn't aware of was how much economics played into how movies were made, and not only that, whether or not we saw sequels. While I always did understood like movies that are typically like box office hits, such as of course you got the Marvel movies, you got the Star Wars movies. Like you understand that those are box office hits, so you can typically expect a sequel due to the positive reception we get. But what I didn't know was this growing need within Hollywood to make sequels. While I had read like many news stories saying things such as Hollywood like continuing to make sequel after sequel, with some people questioning the originality of movies now and the creativities and the concern about the remakes. I never really quite understood like why that was, like what was playing into that, and how much was at stake, for movie makers and different directors, and why like it's so important for each movie when it's made to really become a hit, because given the amount of money that's going into these movies, you see why it is that many people are just aren't willing to go with something new and the original that could end up costing them money, could end up costing their positions. So there's really a lot higher stakes in the movie industry than I first actually realized. I myself would personally like to see more originality made within the movies. I would like to see there a less emphasis on making remakes in particular. I know The Lion King was a very popular remake, and I know that there is there is an audience for remakes and sequels and things of that nature. But my only concern is that we'll end up. I'm not sure if this is the right way of saying it, but like kind of like tarnishing like the legacy of movies that have been made, movies that have come and gone from before, and I feel like we'll just end up keep seeing the same type of movie just over and over again with just different characters and just with different settings. And I just really would like for classics to remain the classics, and for us to begin making more original stories that are tailored to this current generation and kind of the things that we're currently seeing. We are still seeing that within the movie industry, like new movies are being made, many independent. For myself, I would just like to make sure that we let the classics be the classics, and we just keep trying to make sure that whatever it is that we're making, that we let the classics, have their place in history, and that we just continue to make content that is more towards this generation, and we just keep, just kind of keep the ball rolling. Okay. Also, another form of media that I also found interesting to read about and learn more about is the radio industry, as well as how that's kind of led into the industry of podcasting. I found like the evolution of how radio, how it started out, and how over the years that content has evolved in the way in which it's being able to be produced, and the markets that it's now able to reach. And also seeing how like different problems have now been, what was looked at as a problem before, many people are now making opportunities out of it. For example, how I believe it was when HD radio streaming became available, how it was a lot more liberating for certain content creators to be able to make content, and how it was a lot clearer, and how now we see the introduction of streaming, and the problem that some people find is how are content creators compensated, and we also see like a rise of other people who have been able to capitalize off the instrument, like such as the internet, and how really, the internet has allowed many different people, whether it be in music, whether it be in radio, whether it just be any type of personality, to really be able to reach a consumer base that matches whatever it is that they're passionate about talking about, whatever it is they like singing about, whatever it is. It seems that now with the advent of the internet and with the amount of opportunities that are out there, we're now seeing people from many different industries now start to take part in conversations that otherwise just wouldn't have happened had we not had it, or had we not like had access to things like YouTube, Spotify, and other streaming services. You now see people making podcasts about how to sell life insurance. You have people making podcasts about how to make music. You have people making podcasts about just simple home life. And it's just interesting seeing how like it started from radio, and now just as years have evolved, how the industry has grown and just has changed so much, where it's just allowed for, if there's something that you're passionate about, it now allows you your own platform, and you can take it straight to the consumer base rather than having to go through any type of, for the most part, any type of government agency or any type of like real restrictions. Like I know that YouTube imposes its own type of restrictions on certain amounts of content and things of that nature. But for the most part, now, before you would had to rely on other departments, not departments, but other industry icons or other companies to put your content on and take it to the user base. Now you're able to upload your own content and upload it straight to the viewers. This allows the market to decide, what is popular and what is not. And now, overall, I'm just very excited to see, for both the movie industry as well as the podcasting industry, like what new developments will be made. We starting to see, people making just movies just using YouTube and getting that out to the consumer base, and we're starting to see, the need less and less for people to necessarily venture outside their house, or outside, what they're currently viewing on YouTube, to go access certain content or information. So it'll be interesting to see in the future how, as streaming continues to grow in popularity, and how the internet is just creating such opportunities for the consumer base, or not consumer base, for content creators, how that's just all going to play out in the end. And I look forward to seeing how that develops. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm just with you. Have a good night, people.